Hello, everyone, and welcome back to M&M English Academy. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Rachel. Happy Monday, everyone. How was your weekend?
Mine was great, thanks. I actually spent some time with friends, and you know what? We were using so many everyday expressions that I thought this would be perfect for our listeners.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's exactly what we're focusing on today because, let's be honest, textbooks are great, but real conversations? They're full of phrases that you just don't learn in grammar lessons.
Exactly. And that's why today's episode is going to be super practical. We're diving into 25 common phrases that native speakers use all the time in daily life.
These are the kinds of expressions you'll hear at work, with friends, at the supermarket, basically everywhere. And the best part, once you start using them, you'll sound much more natural and fluent.
Right. So whether you're grabbing coffee, chatting with colleagues, or just making small talk, these phrases will definitely come in handy.
So grab your notebooks, get comfortable, and let's get started. Matthew has collected some really useful ones for us today.
I do indeed. So Rachel, are you ready to go through them?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
All right, so let's kick things off with a phrase that I'm pretty sure everyone has experienced at some point. I slept in today.
Yes, this is super common, especially on Mondays. So when you say, I slept in, it means you woke up later than you planned or later than usual.
Exactly. It's not about going to sleep. It's about waking up late. Maybe your alarm didn't go off, or maybe you just needed that extra rest.
Right. For instance, imagine you arrive at work and your colleague asks, "Why do you look so relaxed?" You could say, "Oh, I slept in this morning. I feel amazing."
Perfect example. Now, moving on to our next one. I'm running late.
This one is essential. If you're running late, it means you're behind schedule. You're not going to arrive on time.
Yes, and notice we say running late, not walking or going late. It's just the expression we use.
Absolutely. Here's an example. Let's say you're stuck in traffic and you need to call your friend. You might say, "Hey, sorry, I'm running late. I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Brilliant. Now, the third phrase is one of my favorites. It totally slipped my mind.
I use this one all the time. When something slips your mind, it means you forgot about it completely. It wasn't intentional, it just disappeared from your memory.
Exactly. And we often add totally or completely to emphasize that we really did forget.
Right. For example, imagine your partner asks, "Did you pick up the milk?" And you realize you forgot. You could say, "Oh no, it totally slipped my mind. I'll get it on my way home."
That's a great example because it also shows you're taking responsibility, but you're explaining that it was an honest mistake.
Okay, next up, we have a really useful one. I'll take a rain check.
Ooh, this is interesting because it sounds a bit strange if you translate it literally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it basically means you're declining an invitation now, but you'd like to do it another time.
Exactly. It's a polite way to say, not today, but maybe later. The origin actually comes from baseball. When a game was canceled due to rain, you'd get a ticket for another game.
That's right. Here's an example. Your friend invites you to dinner, but you're exhausted. You could say, "I'm really tired tonight. Can I take a rain check? Let's do it next week instead."
Perfect. Now let's talk about another one. I can't wrap my head around it.
This is such a common expression. When you can't wrap your head around something, it means you're finding it really difficult to understand or accept.
Yes, it's like your brain just can't grasp the concept. It's too complex, too strange, or too surprising.
For instance, let's say you're learning about quantum physics. You might tell your teacher, "I've read this 3 times, but I still can't wrap my head around it."
Great example. All right, moving to the next phrase. It drives me crazy.
Oh, everyone knows this feeling. When something drives you crazy, it means it really annoys you or frustrates you.
Exactly. It could be a noise, a habit, a situation, anything that really gets on your nerves.
Here's a situation. Imagine your neighbor plays loud music every night. You could say to your friend, "That noise drives me crazy. I can't sleep anymore."
I feel that. Okay, next one. That's a tough call.
This is perfect for when you need to make a difficult decision. A tough call means it's hard to choose because both options have pros and cons.
Right. It's not an easy decision. You really have to think about it carefully.
For example, imagine someone asks you, "Should I take the job in another city or stay here?" You could respond, "Wow, that's a tough call. Both options sound good."
Excellent. And our last one in this set, it's not a big deal.
This is super useful for keeping things in perspective. When you say it's not a big deal, you're saying something isn't important or serious.
Yes, you use it to calm someone down or to show that you're not upset about something.
Here's an example. Your friend apologizes for being 5 minutes late, and you say, "Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I just got here myself."
That's perfect because it shows you're relaxed and understanding about the situation.
All right, let's move on to a really positive one. You nailed it.
Oh, I love this expression. When you tell someone you nailed it, you're saying they did something perfectly or successfully.
Exactly. It's like saying you got it exactly right, or you did an amazing job.
For instance, imagine your colleague gives a presentation and it goes really well. Afterwards, you could say, "That was fantastic. You absolutely nailed it."
Perfect. Now, here's an interesting one. Tell me about it.
This one can be a bit confusing for learners because it sounds like you're asking for information, but actually, you're agreeing with someone.
Yes, it means I totally agree with you, or I know exactly what you mean because I experienced the same thing.
Right. Here's an example. Your friend complains, "This weather is so unpredictable." And you respond, "Tell me about it. I brought an umbrella and sunglasses today."
That's a great example. Now, let's talk about "don't get me wrong."
This is super important because it helps you clarify what you mean. You use it when you're about to say something that might sound negative, but you want to make sure the person understands your intention.
Exactly. It's like saying, "Don't misunderstand me," or "I don't mean this in a bad way."
For example, let's say you're talking about your job. You might say, "Don't get me wrong. I like my boss, but sometimes his management style is a bit too strict."
Brilliant example. And another great one is, "I see where you're coming from."
This is wonderful for showing empathy. When you say this, you're telling someone that you understand their perspective or point of view.
Yes, you might not agree with them, but you're acknowledging that their opinion makes sense from their perspective.
Here's a situation. Your friend wants to quit their job, and you think they should stay. You could say, "I see where you're coming from. The commute is really long, but maybe give it a few more months."
That's excellent because it shows you're listening and understanding before offering your own opinion.
Okay, next one. I'm swamped with work.
This is very common in professional settings. When you're swamped with work, it means you have way too much work to do. You're completely overwhelmed.
Exactly. The image is like being in a swamp, stuck and unable to move because there's so much around you.
For instance, your manager asks if you can take on another project, and you say, "I'd love to help, but I'm completely swamped with work right now. Can we discuss this next week?"
Great example. Now let's look at this. I'll look into it.
This is a very professional and polite way to say you'll investigate something or find more information about it.
Yes, it shows you're taking someone's request seriously and you'll research it or check on it.
Here's an example. A customer asks about a product feature and you're not sure. You could say, "That's a good question. I'll look into it and get back to you by tomorrow."
Perfect. All right, next step, let's play it by ear.
This is such a useful phrase. When you play it by ear, it means you're not making fixed plans. You'll decide what to do based on the situation as it develops.
Exactly. It comes from music, playing without sheet music, just by listening. So you're being flexible and spontaneous.
For example, your friend asks, "What time should we meet on Saturday?" You could say, "I'm not sure yet. Let's play it by ear and see how the day goes."
Love it. And another work-related one, I'm on a tight deadline.
Yes, this means you have very little time to complete something. The deadline is close and there's pressure.
Right. Tight here means there's not much room or time to spare.
Here's a situation. Your colleague wants to chat, but you're busy. You could say, "I'd love to, but I'm on a tight deadline right now. Can we talk after lunch?"
That's a polite way to set boundaries while explaining why you're busy.
All right. Here's one that almost everyone can relate to. "I got stuck in traffic."
Yes, this is super common, especially in big cities. When you're stuck in traffic, it means you're trapped in your car because there are too many vehicles on the road and everything is moving very slowly or not at all.
Exactly. And notice we say stuck in traffic, not stuck on traffic.
Right. For instance, you're late to a meeting and you call your boss. You might say, "I'm so sorry, I'm late. I got stuck in traffic on the highway. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Perfect. Now let's talk about "that's not my thing."
I use this one all the time. When you say something is not your thing, you mean it's not something you enjoy or it doesn't interest you.
Yes, it's a casual and polite way to say you're not into something without being rude.
Here's an example. Your friends invite you to go rock climbing, but you don't like heights. You could say, "Thanks for inviting me, but rock climbing isn't really my thing. Maybe I'll join you for dinner afterwards."
That's great because you're declining politely but still showing interest in spending time with them.
Absolutely. Now, here's another useful one. "I'll sleep on it."
This is perfect when you need time to make a decision. When you sleep on it, you're saying you want to think about something overnight before deciding.
Exactly. The idea is that after resting and clearing your mind, you'll be able to make a better decision.
For example, someone offers you a job and you're not sure. You could say, "This sounds interesting. Can I sleep on it and give you my answer tomorrow?"
Perfect. And let's move to a fun one. Fingers crossed.
Oh, I love this expression. When you say "fingers crossed," you're hoping for good luck or a positive outcome.
Yes, and sometimes people actually cross their middle finger over their index finger as a gesture when they say it.
For instance, your friend has a job interview tomorrow. You might say, "Good luck with your interview. Fingers crossed you get the job."
That's a lovely way to show support and hope for someone.
Okay, moving on. "I'm all ears."
This is such a friendly expression. When you say, "I'm all ears," you're telling someone you're ready and eager to listen to what they have to say.
Exactly. It shows you're giving them your full attention.
For example, your friend says they have some exciting news. You could respond, "Ooh, tell me. I'm all ears."
Love it. Now, here's another common one. It rings a bell.
This is interesting. When something rings a bell, it means it sounds familiar. You've heard it before, but you can't quite remember all the details.
Right. It's like a bell going off in your memory.
For instance, someone mentions a restaurant name and you say, that name rings a bell. I think I've been there before, but I'm not sure."
Perfect example. All right, let's talk about "I'm beat."
Ooh, this is perfect for the end of a long day. When you're beat, you're extremely tired or exhausted.
Yes. It's informal, so you'd use it with friends or family, not in a super formal email.
For instance, after a long workout, you might tell your friend, "I can't go out tonight. I'm absolutely beat. I just want to go home and sleep."
Great. Now, here's one for those awkward moments. "My bad."
This is very casual. "My bad" is an informal way to say, "My mistake," or "I'm sorry, that was my fault."
Exactly. You use it with friends or in relaxed situations when you make a small mistake.
For example, you accidentally bump into someone at the coffee shop. You could say, "Ooh, my bad. I wasn't looking where I was going."
Nice. And our last phrase, "it's worth a shot."
This is great for encouraging people to try something. When you say it's worth a shot, you mean it's worth trying even if you're not sure it will work.
Yes. Shot here means attempt or try. So you're saying the attempt is worth making.
Here's an example. Your friend is nervous about applying for their dream job. You could say, you should definitely apply. Even if it's competitive, it's worth a shot. You never know.
That's encouraging and positive. Perfect.
Well, there you have it. 25 super useful phrases that you'll hear all the time in everyday English.
The best part about these expressions is that once you start using them, you'll sound much more natural and confident in your conversations.
Absolutely. And remember, don't try to memorize all of them at once. Pick 2 or 3 that you like and start using them this week.
Great advice. Practice them in real situations with friends, at work, or even just talking to yourself in the mirror.
Before we go, if you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to M&M English Academy. It really helps us keep creating content for you.
And if you have any phrases or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you.
Also, share this episode with anyone who's learning English. These phrases are game changers.
All right, everyone. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next Monday with more practical English tips.
Until then, keep practicing and stay curious.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.